Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming from, for joining our webinar this month. My name is Brandon Savage with Vozic AI. This month's topic, we're super excited to share with you. As you can see here, we're going to be talking about how to unlock the value of your customer base, and particularly today is focused on using our AI-driven solution to create a growth playbook for the pest control industry. So let's get right into introductions and we'll get this thing rolling. So as I mentioned, my name is Brandon Savage. I am the head of solution enablement here at Vozic AI. I've been with the company for 7 years. Prior to that, I spent 20 years in the industry. One of the very first companies I worked for actually started out in pest control and it expanded into home security. And I spent almost 2 decades in the home security industry, but there was a lot of parallels in terms of how the subscription revenue business is working. My roles were in customer experience and operations and technology. So that's me. Let me turn it over to Dr. Akula.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Good to know that your very first company is a pest control company. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Vasu Akula, and I lead our data science team. So today we'll be talking about what the state of the PMP industry survey is telling us about the opportunities for pest control industry. And speaking of my background, I spent about 25 plus years implementing customer experience improvement solutions. And in particular, the topic of our webinar today, AI, how it will help. We started as a company working on AI even before everyone else is talking AI. That was 10 years ago. So we bring a lot of maturity, a lot of expertise in this area. So absolutely excited about the topic today because it is based on actual recommendations from PMP survey and how our platform supports this particular industry to take advantage of AI and grow their revenues. Doug?
Yes, hello, everyone. My name's Doug Shapiro. I'm the Chief Sales Officer with 35 years of customer relationship management, including retention and subscription economics. And I'm excited to share with you the success we've had with other pest control organizations. And I look forward to hearing some feedback and engaging with you in a face-to-face meeting and follow-up to this webinar.
Terrific. So we're going to jump right into the State of the Industry report that was published by PMP magazine, the Pest Management Professional magazine for 2024. And I'm going to kind of go pretty rapidly on some of the key things that kind of set the stage for what Vasu will share with us today. This particular survey went to over 200 respondents who gave insight into their view on the industry. Now, those different respondents represent all parts of the US, different sized companies, both in terms of employees and fleet. One of the things that becomes very clear in this report is that on the left-hand side, we see that many of them are trying to manage costs. One of the respondents said, rising operating costs, pricing challenges, labor issues, changing consumer behavior, and supply chain disruptions could create a complex and unpredictable environment for the industry, requiring strategic adaptation to maintain profitability and service quality. And so on the right, we see different ways these companies anticipate that they'll be able to bring revenue into the business and most importantly, to bring profit into the business. Now, when we compare this report to the previous year report, we do see some interesting trends when it comes to what is the growth outlook that these companies are seeing. And where we're seeing the respondents' growth outlook shifting to is into flat growth and negative growth, that more of these respondents are anticipating that they're going to be hitting some headwinds as they proceed through 2024 and go into 2025. As we look at some of the concerns from these leaders, we see that of that 13% are anticipating revenue growth of 26% or more. Great. That's I think anyone would die to have that growth in a year. But as we kind of look down, we're seeing 10 to 25% growth, 9% growth, and almost 20% of the respondents see flat growth or negative growth. So the question that we anticipate is on the minds of many of the owners and managers and executives within this industry is, how can you move over? How can you shift into that next bracket and to be able to capture more growth opportunities in the coming 12 months? The end of this report from PMP, they gave a summary of what are the top obstacles in 2024 and what are the best or most likely opportunities in 2024. And we want to particularly look at those opportunities. Those top four: increasing referrals, increasing repeat business, improving customer retention, and upsell services are all ways to maximize customer revenue, but they're all things that our solution at Vozit can help you do and can help accelerate your efforts by leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Vasu, who's going to talk about the playbook for this industry, what we've done and what we can do for you.
Thank you, Brandon. Quick feedback, please. Can you see my screen? So I love that PMP survey, and in particular, the growth use cases they identified, which essentially is a summary of what the rest of the senior leaders from pest control companies are saying, because that's how we like to think also. It's not like random AI to do all kinds of things, but specific use cases. So in my portion, let's say in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to call this a playbook, right? So if you're implementing this playbook, how do you want to think about it? What are the components in the playbook, and how Vozit can help you with both the platform and the expertise in implementing this particular playbook, right? So let's go to the next slide. So we have...
Can we double check? I don't think we can see your slide. Doug, can you see a slide?
I can.
Oh, you can? Okay, then just me.
Okay.
Continue.
So Doug, you have the slide that has like 3 boxes in it?
Yes, AI opportunity use cases and AI as a service.
Awesome. That's my playbook. All right. Let's talk through this. But before we talk about this playbook, right, how qualified are we to talk about a playbook, right? And what is our experience and why we are talking about this? We, in particular, work with home services companies. Home services companies include pest control, home security, lawn care, home warranty. There are many home services. In fact, we see home as the customer, not the person who lives in the home. So we, bring a lot of experience and pre-built models and geographic neighborhood understanding, home understanding, homeowner needs understanding, all of that. So we bring a lot of experience, and I'll share some case studies and success stories in this. But for my portion, I'd like to break this into 3 parts. What is the AI opportunity? What can AI do for us? And in fact, what types of AI? This ChatGPT is making us think about AI is equal to, ask Siri about weather and it is telling me something, or is it, I type something into a keyword box and it is helping me plan certain things, or is this really business ready, right? Can we really take it into business? Or is this, some interaction planning, right? So we'll demystify that AI opportunity, in particular in the context of pest control companies. And then we'll talk more, quickly about the use cases, right? If we want to implement the growth playbook, what might be the top use cases? We'll spend a few minutes there. And then based on our experience in listening to a lot of your peers from home services industries, pest control industries, they don't have the expertise in implementing this. They all want AI to be implemented. So I'm happy to share with you that we are coming up with a concept called AI as a service. So you don't have to worry about, do I have a data scientist? Am I ready for this? Do I have the data? We take care of all of that for you. So we bring the technology and we actually give you AI as a service to make it easy for you. So let's jump in with these 3 concepts. Right. So the first one is there are a lot of pictures here. So think about these pictures as your own customers, right? You might be a regional player, you might be a national player, you may have 100,000 subscribers, you may have a couple of million subscribers, and some of them are happy. Some of them are maybe at risk to cancel and go to your competitor. Some of them might be very, very high value that you can actually even sell even more, but you may not be fully aware of it, right? Some of them might be living in a competitive geo. Maybe your competition is door knocking every summer, trying to get that customer for them. Some might be complaining about, hey, I'm not getting your full service. Nobody came inside like what your website promises. And some, when you ask a satisfaction survey, they'll give you a detractor score, right? So you may have all kinds of mix of these customers. And now, there might be some programs to track end of contract or maybe NPS, but that's all kind of waiting for certain things to happen in a very, very reactive way. The opportunity with AI is when we deploy these models absolutely can give you signals, and we call this micro-segmentation. Take all your customers and micro-segment them into which customer is ready for a churn-related prevention opportunity, which customer will absorb a price increase, which customer will give us a referral when we ask them, right? Because we don't want to, approach the same customer with a churn offer and a upsell offer and a rate adjustment offer and a referral offer all at the same time. So we want to be selective in who should get what type of thing. So AI will take all your customers and all your internal data and bring a lot of third-party data, their neighborhood data, home data, which we have mined over the last 10 plus years, and apply that to you. And what it does from AI opportunity point of view is it will nicely organize your customers into many, many areas. Now, just because AI can do this, right? Now, we don't recommend every company to go and implement all these programs all at once. We have like a very, very structured process to implement. And of course, your lifetime value economics and things like that. For any subscription business, for any pest control business, right? There are three important areas outside of cost management. Of course, you reduce the cost, your enterprise value go up, right? But outside of cost management, there are three big broader areas, right? Either we want to grow by getting more customers at an economical cost, or we want to keep our customers that we already have for as long as we can, or we want to grow from our existing customers with either price increases or upsells or something like that, right? These are the three big broad use cases. And in fact, with our experience, we also broke each of these three use cases into sub-use cases. Getting customers could be like what PMP satisfaction survey is saying, even reacquiring some of the canceled customers, maybe reselling to companies that might be only getting a termite control, maybe give them mosquito, or maybe give them quarterly general pest control, right? So there are many different ways of acquiring revenue opportunities, keeping those revenue opportunities, and growing those revenue opportunities, right? So there's the big broad way. So now let's, in the next 5 minutes, let's jump into each of these areas. I will talk about one specific use case, keep the context on AI and pest control, right? So the first one is get customers, right? So here, get customers, the first thing that comes to our mind is, we are getting all these leads. Not every lead is equal. So our call center agents or field reps might be wasting their time on leads that may not be ready to convert at this time. We might need to nurture them a little more before we kind of go and convert those leads. So what happens is, a 5-star lead and a 1-star lead gets equal treatment, right? We believe that we need to take care of 5-star leads. So our system takes all your incoming leads and uses their neighborhood, property, lead sources, their interaction, time spent on the call, even email open rates, things like that. And I score each customer with each lead with a star rating. This is a 5-star lead, converts if your average conversion rate is, let's say, 20%, or this lead is going to convert 40% or 50%. Or a 1-star lead, right? This lead might not be ready, or maybe they might need like a bigger, broader offer, right? And it shows all kinds of additional details about, the home and the neighborhood and the stage, and, makes the life of the agent easier, all to increase the conversion rate. The nice thing is we can apply this technology on fresh incoming leads and score them live, Or we can also apply the same technology on previously unconverted leads. You may have 20% of the leads converted. That means 80% of the leads are not converted. It doesn't mean, we couldn't convert last year. It doesn't mean they cannot be converted forever. So we give you the technology to rescore them and then see which of those unconverted leads we can convert. We can even take this one step forward and apply the same technology on canceled customers, right? We might have canceled. They had our service at one time. Now you can go back to some of those canceled customers and give them a different package. Maybe this time it's a one-off service as opposed to letting them go to your competitor for their needs, right? So there are multiple ways in which we can think about this, and our system gives you the technology and the process to make conversion rate higher. That means we are lowering the cost of acquisition. Your CFO is going to love it, right? So that's first use case. Now let's talk about get, keep, grow, right? So let's talk about keep. This is the primary use case here is keeping the customers for as long as we can by understanding their needs, addressing their needs ahead of time, and making sure that they're happy. And in fact, also, happy customer base translates into opportunity for upsell. These days, PMP survey is also saying the same thing. One of the higher revenue generation opportunities is selling those mosquito services if they're not part of your general pest control package, or maybe a one-off termite service, right? And charge more. Whether you want to think about it that way, or happy base will also bring their neighbors, right? Referral services, right? So all of that, the core technology there is understanding every customer's need before they make a decision to cancel and switch to your competitor. The way this one works is we take all your customers and we score them from highest propensity to cancel, even before they indicate anything, even before they call your call center and say, I want to cancel, and then you pour a lot of money to retain them, adjust the rates and things like that. Being proactive will give us far better opportunity for us not to discount the rates and keep them happy with small rate